We were everything we needed, seated in Ujamaa and Imani. Faith got long legs and no eyes, but they had vision for that Greenwood Ave, that Redman land, that brilliance built by black man hand. Legacies of a dreamland that became the blueprint for hope, meaning manifestation. Heritage on every storefront, resilience in every brick. So brick by brick, the mortar became mortal. This became a living thing. My bro Phetote said that Greenwood was the body, Black Wall Street was the soul. I imagine for the generation post-slavery utopia. Breathing came easy because God blessed the child that had its own. And we owned all of this. Look at this. We own all of this. Imagine that. Negroes running things. Greenwood was like the boardroom meeting the cookout. Nuclear family meets community, united on some June nights under the groove, getting down just for the funk of it. Black Wall Street. Welcome to this place, this altar, this sanctuary. It's complicated, this need to connect. Soul to soul, breast to breast we speak. Sometimes afraid because speaking leaves room for error. Silence our only friend. We've got a million things to say but no words. I guess I got used to the quiet. I guess I, but not tonight. Tonight, we shall experience something together. Tonight, we will celebrate where our truths are always safe to say. Tonight, we will live, love, speak, and create. Tonight, we J Parlay. Thank you so much for joining us here tonight. We welcome you to the Breakout Experience. We welcome you to J Parlay Live and Reloaded, the Greenwood edition. We have before you some amazing artists, some amazing poets, wordsmiths, and they're going to share with you a piece of their experiences. They're going to share with you words that are inspired by the lives that they have lived and by the things that they have witnessed and reflected on in present day society and in yesteryear. So just sit back, relax, and enjoy this presentation.
Learn the features of that face in the mirror like I can't love a stranger. Recover info now, I'd rather not discover later. Coming of age was learning, fuck waiting for favors. We do this like we know ain't nobody coming to save us. We do this like it's that success we want a taste of. Sit it on my taste buds, it's fitting like I made the glove. Fitting like I envision the world I want and made it up like comics and can't compromise my character on pages of them. I don't fit all this work in a day for nothing. My personal space productive, I'm searching for ways to up it. Not bluffing the buffering, trying to be loaded up with gems. And kept it funky like this time it ain't your upper lip. Find your health, find your wealth. Hope you like what you find. Find your health, find your wealth. I don't know what you looking for, but I hope you find yourself. I don't know what you looking for, but I hope you find yourself. I don't know what you looking for, but I hope you find yourself. I don't know what you looking for, but I hope you find yourself. I don't know what you looking for, but I hope you I hope you find it pristine and make it a masterpiece. Something closely related to me, it's the way it has to be. That's word to my faculty, the town that's backing me. Put energy in the atmosphere, I don't mind coming back to me. This one sound like that release. This one sound like actively stretching the max to reach. Sound like palm trees, sound like half the beats. Sound like that world in my palm thing. Sound like that's for me. Sound like some balance and calm beans. Sound like that's what I need. Find your health, find your wealth. Hope you like what you find. Find your health, find your wealth. I don't know what you looking for, but I hope you find yourself. I don't know what you looking for, but I hope you find yourself. I don't know what you looking for, but I hope you find yourself. I don't know what you looking for, but I hope you find yourself. I don't know what you looking for, but I hope you find yourself. I can't love a stranger. Recovering for now, rather not discover later. Coming of age was learning, fuck waiting for favors. We do this like we know ain't nobody coming to save us. Ain't nobody coming to save us. We know ain't nobody coming to save us. Ain't nobody coming to save us. We know ain't nobody coming to save.
In dedication to O.W. Gurley. and Sundiata. You don't understand how we slave for this master space. Trying to leave us a mark that's way past our grave, I won't lie. Really shook me when Nip passed away. But reminded me that great marathons are faster paced. I've been out here for years, impacting babies. Won't debate on being king when you cast as clay. Big character trembles, I hope they grasp these waves and use these ripples as a raft of greatness. Look, we're really out here in communities, touching youth and usually dodging all of the snap stories. This right here is true to me. We don't need the accolades or flocks of eyes glued to me. I just had these dreams of being Dr. King and moving peace. Building Wakanda in little old Oklahoma. Instrumentally key, subconsciously people know it. Plan to die empty, I leave it all in the moment. I'm the weird dude you see bringing food to the homeless. Creating opportunities, bringing gigs to the homies. Telling brothers I love them without entering pause moments. Move like Killmonger, but keep the heart of T'Challa. Ascended to a point that not even stars are beyond us. Embracing our aura, bringing culture to the climate. I really gave all this up, I'm being honest. Then I just figured, why not paint all lyrics as hieroglyphics for the men and for the women, for everybody that'll listen. For the children, I shall give my last bit of energy, sprouting to a bigger tree to leave peace within the leaves. You see, we started off as Simba as this Pride Rocket member. Running away from scars, elephant graveyard, we end up trying to prove our heart, but see, our roar just wasn't big enough. So had to leave to strengthen up and came back invincible. Now I'm a ruler. Truly, I'm Mansa Musa. I stand without a blemish, that's even after they rumors. My mama's child, but see, I'm motherland's son. Carry my ancestors' souls, boy, I'm 100 Shang songs. Ain't no way to kill this spirit, even with drum and handgun. Our history don't start with slavery, that ain't where I came from. Couldn't fight until I learned peace. And plus I learned that sleep is free, but you still gotta earn your dreams. Treat all my brothers with hugs and the term king. And all my sisters with praise as God's queens. Needed Rafiki to teach me this wasn't easy. Timon and Pumbaa taught me that overthinking's a weakness. As long as my course is natural, my energy gon' feed it. Find a nala that aligns your chakras, you can't be defeated. There's something about your aura when your scale no longer teeters. Silently, that's your loudest speaker. Those are words of a king. In dedication to the real Lion King, Sundiata Keita from the Mali Empire.
They tryna kill us. They tryna murder us. One by one till we're all gone. The numbers don't lie. Even though they try, the silence that speaks will be the death of we. They tryna kill us, they tryna murder us, one by one till we're all gone. The numbers don't lie, even though they try. The silence that speaks will be the death of we. Do you know you? Do you know where you came from? Do you know that African Americans are the root of all civilization? The oldest race on the planet, damn it. Sans Bushman tribe of Africa. Every human's DNA can be traced back to the same tree, third eye, principal seed of the soul, the one single strand in the body. It and melanin go hand in hand. Our cognitive skills richer, jumps higher, dancing more rhythmic, skin thick, black don't crack. Do you know you? Do you know that our existence goes beyond 6,000 years? Before we were infiltrated in our own inhabitants, we were kings and queens, pure royalty they feared. Do you know that our motherland is not just poverty-ridden, our history is constantly hidden, buried treasures. Measure the times we call each other nigga. They figure they ingrained it to be, and niggas are using it so effortlessly, why can't they join in the debauchery? Do you know you? Do you know how badly they look at us? With showy display of material things is all the rush. We will cuss and fight and march with no resolution. Revolution is not being televised. Reality is not being realized. Truth is so far from it we should be before we become hit with a I've fallen and can't get up stick. Quit feeling sorry for ourselves and gain infinite knowledge that will build infinite wealth. Do you know you? Do you know that when sent to prison, Third Amendment's the sentence? Slavery is abolished except when found guilty of a crime. It's so very much alive. There are more of our men in the sophisticated slave plantations called correctional facilities than there were in the 1850s, a decade before the Civil War began. And our ancestors ran and fought as hard as they could so we could be doing what needed to be done like any righteous being under the sun. But seems we've never been free due to being born a certain way. No escaping life filled with hustles, bustles, poverty and strife. Unjust laws broken so we could have liberation. Immigration is at its all-time high. More freedom would be enjoyed if we would search and find the reason why civil rights was a movement in the first place. Black leaders would teach it for the entire black race. Land of the free, home of the brave. But we've never been free due to living in these last days seeming like an eternity. And it burns me the adversity we've endured with no way out, not having a cure. Social deprivation is all that we know, and folks wondering why we have the syndrome crabs in a barrel when all we want is to be free. Be unchained from what's held us back for so long so we can have peace. Peace of mind, heart, love, and grace. Regardless if we have a black, yellow, brown, or black face. Do you know you? Because if you don't, we should get to so we can erase the cycle of the curse that's been plagued on we. Hate on our people for centuries. Because they're trying to kill us. They're trying to murder us.
What happens to a dream attack? Does it rise like a phoenix to the sky or molt itself anew, forever spry? Does it charge like a pit bull hit or lie and whimper like a warrior sick? Maybe it reforms like a starfish ode, or does it implode? Look around you. Where now this Greenwood, Black Wall Street? How does an entire district shrink into just a street? How do you so impair a once vibrant people that they readily embrace this serial buyer, renter, not owner powerlessness? How did Black Wall Street become this tragedy? Say what? Y'all say things are changing and Greenwood is coming back? Oh yeah, the area is being revitalized. There's a new ballpark over there, a museum going up, there's big business headquarters springing forth, and all the hotels and apartments being built within its boundaries. But black people are blackballed, blackstalled, blackwalled off from the profits now being made on Black Wall Street. This once promised land of riches. This teeming swell of yes, we can. This foundational springboard and burgeoning source of pride. This dear, dear, blessed plot of land. This fortress built by the diaspora against the infection of hatred. This precious sanctuary bound by railroad tracks, serving as barrier against the envy and the animosity of the less melanated. This Langston Hughes' dream come true of black-owned hospitals, black-owned pharmacies, black-owned theaters, black-owned hotels, black ownership of the sources of income. This Greenwood that was, this Greenwood that rose to conquer perceptions, alas, has made a shameful conquest of itself. For while we buried our heads like ostriches, pretending that integration would solve all of our problems, the Pied Pipers lured us into complacent, easy targets, and we got bent over. Thus, Greenwood today is but a one-street, three-block display of spooks who sit by the door, and Brady Tate would be proud.
Told me we couldn't have this. Sharecropper to entrepreneur was ridiculous, but they were wrong. We were trendsetters of our very own. The first civilization to bring that terminology to life. Trendsetters, Black Wall Street, she was. had fortune beyond fortune, buildings upon buildings. Black Wall Street was lit. From movies to grocery stores to airplane, Harlem Nights brought to your very own Tulsa, Oklahoma. And jealousy, it is cruel as a grave. And jealous they were. See, Oklahoma's promise never really mentioned her. Rather cover Black Wall Street up with college-filled hallways, rooms of laughter, night-filled skies with baseball counts, Cracker Jacks, and peanuts. Riot or massacre? Massacre or riot? They finally got it right. It was a massacre that night. Long nights filled to days with black smoke-filled skies. Broken bodies and building was the scar the mob left behind that night. And as we know, scars will never define us. It will never define what Black Wall Street is, was, and what we are rebuilding. We will not let Black Wall Street be buried as ancient Egypt with her treasure. We will revitalize Black Wall Street, sending cardiovascular shocks to her 4 chambers, bringing her back to life. We will speak of Black Wall Street. We will teach our kids in the worlds of all the beauty Black Wall Street is. For I envision Black Wall Street gracing the sky and smiling, for Black Wall Street knows that she is alive. Thank you.
Dear Mr. and Mrs. Cognitive Dissonance, dear Mr. and Mrs. There's no systematic racism, dear Mr. and Mrs. I got friends who are this and that, blah, blah, blah. To get a better view of your twisted point of view, the black in me must speak to the back of you, since political correctness with a dash of cowardice is skewed what you are permitted to publicly spew about how you truly view those of a darker hue. Whew. But that is nothing new. So since you're so used to sending blacks to the back, let me mosey on back there. Back to the insidious lair where some folks still dare to believe that other human beings deserve to be ensnared if the tone of their skin is less fairer than theirs. And it is quite obvious that you are lactose intolerant because you ramble off racial epithets under your breath like bubble guts, ready to defecate hatred every time you see me. In the back of your mind, educated, outspoken black folk like me are either uppity or lucky. Or lucky that our uppity butts don't get locked up on trumped up charges or choked to the brink of extinction, one innocent black or black brown person at a time. Even though we were unarmed and complying. And if it wasn't for cell phone videos, y'all would still think that we were lying. Oh, you be fronting like you don't secretly envy me. Like you don't be soaking up UV rays, risking cancer to look like we. Like you don't be standing in the mirror trying to mimic our style and vocals in an atrocious attempt to jack our swaggadociousness. And I find it rather ironic how you put us down for being black or brown when many white women's physical description of their quintessential man is tall, dark, and handsome. And they are not talking about hair. Well, I have a really good friend named Tyrone, but I bet you would disown your own daughter if she brought a black man home. Cause in the back of your mind, I was convicted on sight. An African American who can't be a full-blooded human in a land, who considers him 3/5 of a man in an amended constitution that constitutes my humanity, is deluded with delusions of being equal to you. From your frontal to occipital lobe, you and the rest of your Ku Klux Klan cannot stand it when I take stances in my stanzas and demand you be reprimanded for your crimes against humanity. In the back of your mind, my application and resume will decline the moment you notice my ethnic name, regardless of my education, qualifications, or acclaim. In the back of your mind, the lack of me trying is what's keeping me from succeeding in the same oppressive system that makes a Caucasian villain a victim when he murdered an unarmed black kid strolling in the land of the free with nothing but candy, tea, and audacity. See, in the back of your mind, on the end of a line is where I'm supposed to be. Either shackled to your devious deceptions or swinging like an anatomical ornament from your pagan trees. Well, some of my best friends are Negroes, yeah, as long as we're running or shooting free throws. But I see through the false niceties and icy glares into the nightmares that didn't wait for slumber, into the last storefront windows whose reflections reflected flames and hatred as Greenwood was burned and plundered. Now, I know some of y'all thinking, here we go again. But I tell you what, We'll stop writing and reciting, stop doing black folk wrong songs when y'all stop doing black folks wrong. How about that?
But you cannot have compassion without somehow in some way becoming a part of that person's experience, no matter how limited, no matter how indirect. Compassion, my father taught me, and I'm thankful for that lesson, means to suffer with. Look underneath it, look around it, look above it. You come to grips with the fact, really, we have no excuse.
What if today was our last? And this moment's all we had. I'd swallow my pride. I'd do anything that you ask. Oh, baby, and you ask for the truth. And so I'd sing about you. If you should die, I know exactly what I would do. Oh, I die with your love. Sunday morning suit and tie with your love. Take my hand when we're in church. Understand that your love's like church. So when I died and I die in church,
Of your name becoming mine, a badge of honor. I wear it like you were my long days on your mind. With the same passion and delicacy you hold my heart. And sweet as innocent as a Wednesday night stroll through Greenwood Avenue just before dark.
Time is a villain and a thief. It doesn't care whether you are there or not. And in our last moments we begged him to remember how our hearts would always burn like Greenwood, our hands forever meshed together.
So let lips do as hands do, pray in Shakespearean way. Loving you is my ministry, it's how I fill my days.
Knitted, deeply rooted. Those firecrackers were shot from home. We told time to remember home, like it was the last portrait that survived. I framed every flame that we ignited. Snapshots into my mental Rolodex, how the stars never shone as bright as your eyes before the bed.
Long before gunshots rung, long before realities of stolen legacies and history books stung, long before we were newspaper clippings, shortly after talks of ice cream parlor double scoop dippings.
I wanted time to remember our names, like Sarah Page, Dick Rowland. This elevator ain't never closing. Remember her smile, how it seemed to curve from Archer to Pine. Remember her hair, how it curled back to memory. Reminded me of Faith, how she said we had so much of it that every morning she woke in heaven as long as we were in each other's arms.
Thankful in all things, even last breaths that come as quickly as first. Thankful this is our last moment that at least we died in church.
So not much is different now. Time will never forget. We died how we lived, in love.
In love.
When you get down to the core of what really separates humanity is what holds it together. Understanding comes from the unity of suffering.
Beauty of the highest order. Continents split at the border, whether brick or stick mud mortar. A queen in any home, a humble seat on the ground or a majestic temple throne. The womb of manifesting spirit, making room for more black. It's the clearest backdrop to witness infinite creation. Expanding pure elation. Veins pump the pulse of the nation. The source can be read in the DNA. The voice can be heard in the DNA. One eye meditate, inner sight dedicates a vision to follow a mission to strengthen my sons, my daughters. Ocean waters glisten with sunlight just as blood christened chains and swords. Ships and whips, sharks feast upon warriors and princesses, kings and tribe mothers, sisters and brothers, but I made multiplication a trend. I made our destroyers scared that we don't end. I made my people grin. I made my seed my friend. I made my smile stronger than the wind. I made my past submit to my command. I made my voice fearless to reprimand. I made the dust dance barefoot or high heels. I made my rejoice bigger than any hand with the grip to steal. I am the pressure none has helped. I am the pressure all has felt. I am the wealth without treasure. I am the treasure without wealth. I am the measure that is dealt. I am adorned in a rainbow of beads. I am decorated with diamonds, pearls, and linen tweeds. I am above the earth. I am below the skies. I am the exact presence of the universe. All joys, all cries, all voids, all sighs, all lows, all tries. I am the essence of the moon and dirt. I am seen in the rotation of time and the force behind the growth in the darkness. I am the hope of the vine that makes the wine of reward so sweet. I am the overcomer of defeat. I am the curve in the road that gives adventure to carrying loads. I am the caress to pain, the quest of name, the best of game. I walk my love upon the green land. I feel my love in all the red blood. Especially I see my love in all the black skin. I am the feminine that has no twin. Twoman.
The Lord did me a favor the moment he created the day I met her. Seasoned with black girl magic and spiced with perfect pepper. Beautiful disposition, but if pushed, she's a stepper. Without effort, she always applies pressure. Hot enough to make lava feel lukewarm. These goddesses in true form are the definition of a unicorn. Mystery. Something about their unfamiliar aura gets to me, to the point that I willingly hold on tight to these feelings even though my hands are blistering. Professional and cool. These phenomenal women can give you Michelle Obama, Layla Ali, and Maya Angelou. In lamest terms, they are the glue. Holds together all those who come shattered. She allows her glow to rub off on those until they create their own shining masterpiece. She defines support like suspenders. In order to hold her to a higher standard, I would have to suspend her from the Eiffel Tower, Big Ben, and airplane as it ascends above pyramids and Egypt sands, and still couldn't reach the pedestal in which they began. So, who said these unicorns ain't real? Couldn't have been nobody over here, because they all bear witness like a grizzly in a courtroom with their right paw in the air, repeating after me, I solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth about you. I never craved such a sample of juice and never wished life had its own personal photo booth in which we could capture these rare moments as proof that unicorns do exist in the presence of black women. Kode Ransom.
My city is on fire, and I can smell the fumes. Where the proof, where the truth at? They say the proof is in the youth, and the truth is in you. My city is on fire, and I can see the flames all the way from the air to down Greenwood, Archer and Pine. My city is on fire, and you ain't gonna put us out this time. Not this time. My city's on fire, and you ain't gonna put us out this time. It's in our eyes, about time you realize. And we done flame through the rain, and we done push past the pain. We a fire can continue to let you know my city's on fire, and you would put us out, but you can't. So you done sailed that boat, you done try to stay afloat, but your ship already sank, and we the empires. My city is on fire, and I can smell the fumes. Where the proof, where the truth at? They say the proof is in the youth, and the truth is in you. My city is on fire, and I can see the flames all the way from the air to down Greenwood, Archer and Pine. My city is on fire. And you ain't gon' put us out this time, not this time. My city is on fire, and you ain't gon' put us out this time. It's in our eyes, about time you realize.
Diamonds beneath the ashes. This is the lifestyle of the young, talented black, and never had shit. But we had hope and we had miss. I'm Diamond Dick rolling over the Tisdale, staring at madness, eyes burning. Funny how the tables turning. Fight fire with fire, the white robes in the furnace. They try to hide it from us, now we back, 100 miles and running. And we ain't coming to lease it, we come to own it. Don't try to stop me, I'm praying for my opponent, cause I deal with you. They see me on the issue, they telling me I'm blessed now like I need a tissue. I never changed, been the same since I was in preschool. Been anointed like a dab of ointment on your forehead. Wild seeds sprouting up for more bread, reincarnated. I'm 87 made, but my soul coming from them wild 100 days. Set this shit ablaze.
And I can smell the fumes. Where the proof, where the truth at? They say the proof is in the youth, and the truth is in you. My city is on fire, and I can see the flames all the way from the air to down Greenwood, Archer and Pine. My city is on fire, and you ain't gon' put us out this time, not this time. My city is on fire,
Matthew 7, 3-5, New International Version of the Bible. Why do you look at the speck of sawdust in your brother's eye and pay no attention to the plank in your eye? How can you say to your brother, let me get that speck out of your eye, while all the time there is a plank in your own eye? You hypocrite. First, take the plank out of your eye, then you will see clearly to remove the speck from your brother's eye. It's just I get so disgusted and nettle some specks in other people's eyes. I gotta get that plank out my eye. Ooh, I gotta get that plank out my eye. Plank out my eye. Ooh, I gotta get that plank out my eye. I sing that little ditty to myself whenever my BS meter hovers around. And this mother sucker's lying. It reminds me of times where folks are blind to my point of view, so they try to pound their oblong insecurities into my perfectly round truth. I back away from the edge of assumptions because jumping to conclusions can capsize relationships. Have you ever been a centerpiece, pinky toe bunion away from telling somebody that they need to get their shh together before you realize you don't have your shh together? Well, I ran into a rabble-rouser the other day who always has something negative to say about somebody else's dysfunctional family. Now, I was taken aback as her hypocrisy tripped the sensitive sensors on my nonsense defense system, and if I wasn't already repairing crevasses in my own broken home, I would have spitefully shown her the viral video of her new tweaked-out spawn getting this 15 minutes of infamy on. The caption on the post reads, "Pissed off? You haven't seen Pissed Off, ... And right below there's a clip of a frantic manic son with his private parts blurred out, spraying flabbergasted wall Martians with a yellow super soaker filled with this meth-tainted wino urine and a whole heaping helping of dysfunction." When I first saw the post, I tapped, wow, shook my head and scrolled to a live feed of a shamefully scantily clad internet influencer twerking to misogynist music infused with stereotypes. So, after I replayed the video a few times and even tried to like it twice, I realized how hypocritical it was of me to judge someone for doing something that pleases me. But I couldn't get that ass out my eye. Ooh, I couldn't get that ass out my eye. Plank out my eye. Ooh, I gotta get that plank out my eye. Now I want you to remember that tune. I want you to remember all those keys. Now don't be hating on my vocals now. I want you to remember those keys every time you get ready to judge somebody. Get the plank out of your eye, you dig? I am Phetote Shairi. Peace.
I know why a caged bird sings. It's that feeling that you get when anxiety and depression have set for too long. Far too often his voice became hollow, trapped between his windpipes captured in his throat. So no longer is he chained to the mind frame of being hopeless as a penny with a hole in it, nor held hostage to his captor's proximity. See, this is not your ordinary bird song, but more that of a battle cry. That same battle cry of black communities at the purposeful extent placed on black men's lives. That same battle cry of a black mother and father of not to my son shall sing songs to the jailhouse masses, nor his life destined to cemeterial visits. This is that racism isn't dead, they're still shooting up black churches, dismembered to lynch bodies in Oklahoma City. This is that white xenophobia. We felt unsafe, so we shoot to kill first, slaying his good name just to cover up white murders in black neighborhoods. This is that America, you still owe me my 40 acres and a mule. Indians, Jews, and Chinese receive while black people are still knocking on doors for their rations, still standing in soup-lined kitchens for their reparations. This is that Charles Jenkins, this means war type cry. This is that not falling for your senses. I understand the new open law carry just means more outline, chalk black bodies. Rest in peace, Ahmaud Arbery. This is that not falling for those senses of the new downtown Tulsa. Gentrification to redlining to red zoning is just another form of Tulsa keeping that north side in line type cry. This is that all's my life I had to fight. That baton of oppression, killing black people and getting away with it, never giving me my just dues, baton that was passed down to me from my mother's 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 mother. See, I know why a caged bird sung.
Letter found in a box under my grandfather's bed after he was gone. Tell me you're still here. Tell me that you've been saving up for years, ready to leave, and took the disaster as opportunity to disappear. Tell me that the smile that once radiated enough heat to dissolve glaciers still has enough life to melt hearts, and that you're now following your dreams in a land far away. I wouldn't care that you never told me how trapped you felt, that our arms were more of a cage than a sanctuary, that even though it meant leaving your kids, you had to be free. Just tell me you're still alive. Tell me that, and I'll forgive you. Please, let me find out years from now that you were hit over the head and forgot who you were, and were transported and wandered till you found yourself in a strange city and made a new life for yourself. I wouldn't care that you remarried and had other kids. Just that the face I saw in the paper about healthy living is recent, looks happy, is alive. Tell me you're the one of the missing and not one of those three burned beyond recognition, that you didn't scream in helpless agony while the flames melted your skin and then feasted on your skin, your flesh while still alive. That it was not your voice howling in pain in the nightmares I still can't escape. Still can't forgive myself for not being there to protect you. Tell me that my nightmares are just fabrications. Tell me you are finally sinking your toes into the rich, dark loam of the motherland, that your dreams have come true and you're now in Ghana, nursing the ill back to health. Tell me that your needs outweigh the pull of family, that it was the only way for you to keep your sanity. I won't blame you. It will hurt, yes, but still it's better than the alternative. Let not my last memory of you be charred lumps of flesh. I wanted revenge, wanted to hurt somebody, but lacked proof of whom to confront. And vigilante justice, killing the non-guilty, will only bring dishonor to whom you were, hopefully to whom you are. A nurse dedicated to succoring the sick and injured. Oh Lord, oh somebody, please tell me. Tell me that a fire on Greenwood on that awful day in 1921 didn't painfully take the life of the most important person in the world to me. Lord, please tell me that Mother lived through that.
Face to the sky, and I feel so free. Heads to the clouds, baby, come join me. On the ride of my life, it's a ride indeed. I'm manifesting all flight what your dream's gonna be. It's gonna be all right. The pressure gets tempting. But keep your shoulders back and complete the mission. Speak less and listen. Always measure twice. Sometimes you gotta race. That's just a little piece of my advice. Take it if you will. Look, you ain't gotta use it. Just never stay stagnant, brother. You gotta be fluid. And I'm preaching to myself. Sometimes reflection is needed. And I pray we in the right mind when it's time to heed it. Peep it. Time ticks for each of us. Reflections of myself from the dresser been teaching us. Channel my inner king to help me fling all this pressure. It's amazing what I've seen in this dresser. It's pain and it's pleasure, the gift and the curse. Being blind, crippled, or crazy, which gift would be worse? To each his own, no, but pick up your phone when your people is calling, because when they gone and hit home, during the wake of your morning, you'll be wishing you known what that last message was. That shit stick for too long. I'm going on a tangent, and I apologize for that, but I'm speaking all facts. You don't believe? Send a fax. It's time to bring it black in every sense of the word. Community is what we need to help Greenwood flourish. And may your music still nourish the appetite of your ears, and your name have no blemish in the mouth of your peers. Mr. Wortham.
I hope you have enjoyed the presentations that have come forth, the poetry, the music. Thank you so much for joining us here at J Parlay, and you have a wonderful remaining breakout experience. Thank you.